Aircraft are known to be the most prominent part of any military force, as these combat weapons are fast, agile, and powerful. Although modern fighters can perform various roles and are universal aircraft, many countries still use older and cheaper models. However, the leading armies always try to have an edge over their adversaries and procure state-of-the-art equipment. While the latest and most advanced military aircraft feature complex computers and communication links to process and share data, which military aircraft are the best, and which country possesses them? Today, we are going to look at some of the world's most extreme military aircraft. The top 10 to be exact. These cutting-edge machines are designed for speed, stealth, and precision. Join us as we uncover the most extreme military aircraft in the world. First up, we have the F22 Raptor, which is a fifth-generation exceptional fighter aircraft that combines stealth, supercruise, maneuverability, and integrated avionics with improved supportability. And we are biased over here at Valkyrie Defense, but the F-22 is our favorite jet. The Raptor can perform air-to-air and air-to-ground missions, making it versatile and vital for operational missions and battles. As a critical component of the Global Strike Task Force, it is designed to project air dominance at great distances and rapidly defeat any threats attempting to deny air access to our nation's Air Force, Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. The F-22's sensor capability, integrated avionics, situational awareness, and weapons provide the pilot with the first kill opportunity against threats. The Raptor's sophisticated sensor suite allows the pilot to track, identify, shoot, and kill air-to-air threats before detection. The cockpit design and sensor fusion have been significantly improved, enhancing the pilot's situational awareness. The Raptor carries 6 AMRAAMs and 2 AIM-9 Sidewinders in the air-to-air configuration. The F-22 has a significant capability to attack surface targets as well. The aircraft can carry 2 1,000-pound GBU-32 Joint Direct Attack munitions internally and uses onboard avionics for navigation and weapon delivery support in the air-to-ground configuration. The sleek aerodynamic design and increased thrust allow the F-22 to cruise at supersonic airspeeds, greater than Mach 1.5, without using an afterburner, a characteristic known as supercruise. One of the notable technological advancements in the Raptor is the integration of a new two-way Link 16 data link connectivity between aircraft. This feature facilitates real-time airborne collaborative targeting, enabling F-22 pilots to share critical information with other platforms. Previously, the F-22 could only receive data through Link 16, but now it can actively contribute to collaborative efforts, enhancing its role in multi-domain operations. Now, on to the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, the pinnacle of the United States' fifth-generation fighter development. Since entering production in 2006, the F-35 has embodied the latest combat aircraft development. Besides performing as an impressive reconnaissance aircraft in and of itself, the Lockheed Martin Joint Strike Fighter automatically communicates with every available land, sea, air, and space sensor within range to gather and share intelligence in real time. This technology is second to none. This jet is part of a group of next-generation fighter jets that has a single engine. It can fly at extremely high speeds, topping out at Mach 1.6 or 1,200 miles per hour. They are designed to be stealth-like, allowing sleek penetration of the enemy's defense system without being detected. This jet is a single-seat stealth-engine all-weather stealth multi-role combat aircraft. It is intended to perform both air superiority and strike missions. The F-35 Lightning is the second fifth-generation aircraft to be used by the United States and also the first one that can fly at supersonic speeds. These are speeds that have only been seen in movies like Top Gun, but never confirmed in reality until now. It is also the first jet to ever make use of vertical takeoffs and landings. The Lightning focuses on being extremely hard to detect by radars and other similar equipment. It makes use of advanced technology and sensors that keep it almost like a living being, completely aware of its environment. These sensors help engage targets from a long distance and hit with precision. According to Lockheed Martin, this seamless fusion of many sensors and communication systems requires more lines of code than the Space Shuttle's operating system. When using all of this electronic power, an F-35 operator has several advantages over other fighter crews. 6 high-res infrared cameras outside the aircraft augment the electronic sensors and feed a real-time augmented reality display to the pilot's helmet visor. The targeting pod is so advanced that it can engage up to 50 high-speed targets beyond visual range, including aircraft and ground vehicles. The F-35's onboard artificial intelligence system automatically sorts all available targets for destruction based on the threat they pose to the aircraft or to fulfill the mission objective. For a time, McDonnell Douglas, now under Boeing's F-15 Eagle series, was the pinnacle of American air superiority. It incorporated advanced technologies and forward-thinking design that evolved into a highly maneuverable and performance-enhanced multi-role fighter platform. The F-15 was designed to succeed the highly respected F-100 Super Sabre. Still, ultimately aged, the McDonnell F-4 Phantom II series from the Vietnam War era would go on to achieve an excellent kill-to-loss record at one time, totaling 100 combat kills to no losses. That's impressive, especially for that time period. Additionally, in its air superiority and interceptor form, the F-15 entered service with the United States Air Force in 1976 and quickly positioned itself as the best fighter platform in the world, capable of engaging any enemy aircraft at range. The prototype was designated the YF-15A, and the first production models took on the F-15A designation. This was followed by the two-seat F-15B, initially the TF-15A, a two-seat variant. The F-15C was another single-seat model, introducing the Pratt & Whitney F-100 PW220 series engines. The F-15D was of similar scope, though a two-seat version. The aircraft saw combat action at the hands of Israel when Israeli F-15s shot down Soviet-produced Syrian Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-21 fishbed fighters in a much-publicized confrontation. Since then, the series has been introduced in various limited versions, including a two-seat trainer conversion model, a strike platform, and the improved Strike Eagle two-seat attack variant. The newer F-15E variant provides much improved avionics capabilities and incorporates a second rear-seated crew member to assist in the redefined strike role. Next in the lineup is the Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit, generically referred to as the stealth bomber. It became the pinnacle of the tailless flight design and began in the mind of Northrop founder Jack Northrop. The B-2 was groundbreaking in its use of a tailless approach. The aircraft was designed from the outset with radar-evading or absorbing stealth capabilities, generating a small heat signature and slim profile incorporating body-coating materials. The first strike capability had become an essential facet of warfare in the 21st century, and, as shown in the war in Kosovo through the Allied forces, the B-2 did not disappoint once they were in service. Developed as early as the 1970s, the B-2 was not unveiled until 1988. It was 1989 before the aircraft saw its first flight. And from then on, the Spirit was charged with succeeding the Rockwell B-1 Lancer. Also armed with the potent APQ-181 synthetic aperture radar, the B-2 Spirit has become a capable delivery platform where pinpoint strikes against hardened targets are the call of the day. The B-2 saw its first taste of action in the war over Kosovo in 1999, and later over Afghanistan in the 2001 US-led invasion. The aircraft was successful with its pinpoint strikes using JDAMs and GPS-guided munitions. Moving on, we have the Boeing CH47 Chinook. This heavy-lift helicopter is known for its ability to transport troops and cargo in and out of the most dangerous territories. The Boeing Chinook line of medium-lift, tandem-rotor transport helicopters has been a mainstay utility system for the United States Army and others for decades, since its introduction in 1962. The iconic design was given a tandem rotor approach to provide the necessary lift properties when hauling medium-class loads over the battlefield. Able to transport weaponry, supplies, a full complement of combat-ready troops, and other valuable components to and from operating points. Despite its 1960s origins, the CH-47 remains in service worldwide and should continue to be one of the most versatile transport helicopters ever produced. Its importance is such that the series is scheduled for retirement no sooner than 2060, while being set to become the U.S. Army's first 100-year aircraft. The story of the CH-47 began in the mid-1950s with the U.S. Army looking to replace its stock of Sikorsky CH-37 Mojave transport helicopters. Now, let's talk about the Sukhoi Su-57. This Russian fighter jet is built for air superiority and is equipped with state-of-the-art technology. The Su-57 is formerly known as PAK-FA and T-50. The Sukhoi OKB, a Russian aircraft firm with roots in World War II, is developing the Russian fighter. Sukhoi has contributed many designs to the Soviet Air Force and Army, dating back to the Cold War years. The Su-57 is a fifth-generation fighter, using the latest aviation technology, radar-absorbing materials, and weaponry to provide excellent performance, agility, and response for future conflicts. The Su-57 is challenging the American Lockheed F22 Raptor as the world's first fifth-generation fighter aircraft. The T-50 introduced a second player to the once exclusive fifth-generation club, previously owned entirely by the United States. Meanwhile, China is developing its fifth-generation fighter across the Pacific. The Su-57 took over the roles held by the large Sukhoi Su-27 and Su-37 flanker family and the lightweight Mikoyan MiG-29 Fulcrum, all fourth-generation fighters in the Russian inventory. Both lines have seen much use in the global market, resulting in various variants and configurations. Next up, we have the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet carrier-borne fighter line of the United States Navy. Next up, we have the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet, carrier-borne fighter line of the United States Navy. It proved a largely successful replacement for the Vietnam War-era strike fighters and attack platforms when it was introduced in 1983. Shortly after, both single-seat and twin-seat variants and improved variants emerged. Origins of the Super Hornet began in the 1980s as a design study undertaken by McDonnell Douglas for an improved FA-18, even before the original Hornet had entered service. The product gained considerable steam with the USN's loss of the other McDonnell Douglas product, the A-12 Avenger II, a triangle-shaped carrier-based stealth bomber, which languished in development and ballooned into an unforgivable monster for the service. Additionally, the expensive and complicated Grumman F-14 Tomcats used were primarily for fleet defense and did not receive their ground attack capabilities until late in their service careers. The new McDonnell Douglas initiative took the existing FA-18 airframe and extended its wing main planes, while maintaining the fuselage for additional internal fuel stores and more advanced flight and combat systems. The 9 hardpoints of the original design were now increased to 11 in the new, retaining the original's wingtip rail launchers and under-fuselage positions. The Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk was a ground attack aircraft operated by the United States Air Force. Lockheed Skunk Works designed it as a development of the Have Blue technology demonstrator, which was the first operational aircraft to be built around stealth technology. The F-117's maiden flight occurred in 1981 and achieved initial operating capability status in October 1983. The F-117 was officially unveiled in November 1988. The F-117 gained worldwide notoriety for its role in the Persian Gulf War of 1991, where it was commonly called the stealth fighter, even though it was strictly a ground attack aircraft. The F-117 was also used in combat in Yugoslavia, where the only loss of an F-117 in combat occurred when a surface-to-air military battery shot it down on March 27, 1999. The F-117 was developed in response to the increasing sophistication of Soviet surface-to-air missiles that downed heavy bombers during the Vietnam War. For most of its development, the F-117 was an ultra-secret black project until the late 1980s. The project began in 1957 with a model called the Hopeless Diamond, a wordplay on the Hope Diamond, due to its appearance. We also have the AH64 Apache. This attack helicopter is a force to be reckoned with, thanks to its firepower and precision. The Hughes McDonnell Douglas or Boeing AH64 Apache served American and Allied military forces well during its storied operational tenure, which officially began in 1986. She went on to see extensive combat actions throughout the 1980s and 1990s across conflicts such as Panama, the Persian Gulf War, and the Kosovo War. Most recently, these aircrafts were in operations in Afghanistan and Iraq. The Apache is a proven war winner, having displayed her tank-killing prowess in the Persian Gulf War against Saddam Hussein's once formidable armored formations. The Apache family line has amassed over 3 million hours of flight time since its prototype flight, and the production of new airframes is still ongoing. Over 2,000 Apache attack helicopters have been produced, and modernization efforts are expected to keep Apache a viable battlefield asset. Hughes helicopters began operations in 1947 as part of the Hughes aircraft firm, owned by legendary businessman and aviator Howard Hughes. Hughes helicopters then came under the Hughes Tool Company in 1955. They were formed into the Hughes Helicopter Division as part of the Summa Corporation in 1972. In 1981, Howard Hughes created Hughes Helicopters Incorporated, and while the AH64 Apache began life under the Hughes Helicopters brand label, the company ultimately became a subsidiary of aviation giant McDonnell Douglas in 1984, and is therefore known as McDonnell Douglas Helicopter Systems. Last but not least, the French multi-role fighter is known for its agility and advanced weaponry. The Dassault Rafale is the primary French multi-role fourth-generation fighter aircraft. During the 1970s, it became apparent to the French Air Force and Navy that it required a new, modern, multi-role-minded fighter to succeed on its aged stock of aircraft. This prompted officials to consider a lower-risk partnership with other European players, including Britain, Italy, Germany, and Spain. However, the French removed themselves from the project in 1984, preferring to develop an in-house solution for the standing French requirement. The European consortium eventually netted itself the capable Eurofighter Typhoon, while Dassault's work produced the impressive Dassault Rafale. The prototype's first flight was completed on July 4, 1986, and service introduction, initially scheduled for 1996, was not until May 18, 2001. The Rafale is only in service with the French Air Force and Navy. India has committed to a deal involving French Rafales. The French ordered 180 Rafale aircraft with the original intent of procuring 286 airframes. 91 Rafales currently serve in the French Air Force, and 40 have been sent to the Navy. The Rafale has been combat tested in several modern conflicts to date. Its first actions occurred in Afghanistan, supporting NATO forces following the US-led invasion. The aircraft then performed admirably over the Iraqi theater after Saddam Hussein was ousted. Later on, it was put into service when tackling Libyan army forces during the 2011 Libyan civil war. Its latest actions have placed it over the skies of Mali, in the French intervention there against Muslim radicals attempting a national takeover. Even more recently, the Rafale has participated in Allied strikes against ISIS forces in Iraq and Syria. That wraps up the 10 most extreme military aircraft in the world. Which of these military aircraft is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.